business now with Charles Pellegrin. He is starting with Google, making some big announcements at its developers conference on Tuesday. This is especially, isn't it, Charles, with regards to artificial intelligence?
That's right. Since ChatGPT's come onto the scene in 2022, there's been a mad scramble in Silicon Valley to try and integrate AI-powered chatbots in many features, and there had been concerns that Google was lagging behind. Well, the tech giant clearly tried to alleviate those fears on Tuesday by saying they are rolling out a new search feature for US users called AI Mode. It's basically a new tab within Google's search engine that users can activate and which answers questions in the conversational style of an AI chatbot and does not include a list of blue links like we've been accustomed to for so long. The new feature will be powered by the AI model that Google has developed itself called Gemini. Take a listen to Google's CEO, Sundar Pichai.
It's a total reimagining of search. With more advanced reasoning, you can ask AI mode longer and more complex queries like this. In fact, users have been asking much longer queries, 2 to 3 times the length of traditional searches. And you can go further with follow-up questions. All of this is available today as a new tab right in search.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? But the rollout comes at a time when people's internet search habits are really starting to change, aren't they?
And Google's main revenue stream, search, is being threatened by AI chatbots like ChatGPT or Perplexity, which people are increasingly using. Its shares even dropped earlier this month when an Apple executive said that they would likely offer AI options like ChatGPT in its Safari browser within the next year. And when you look at Alphabet's results in the first quarter of the year, Google's parent company depends on search and other related revenue for as much as 56% of their total revenue. So it's crucial for the company to try and maintain an edge in this field. But many questions remain, notably how to generate advertising revenue without having links to click on. During the conference, the company said it was looking at different options, including working on virtual fitting rooms where users could try clothes on using AI, for instance.
It's getting more and more extreme, isn't it? There could be a silver lining for Google, couldn't there?
As a reminder, a US judge has ruled that Google is illegally maintaining a search engine monopoly and is now considering a range of options, including a forced sale of the Chrome browser, which includes the search business. As you can see here, its search engine represents almost 90% of all internet queries, dwarfing its closest competitor, Microsoft Bing. But this chart doesn't include AI chatbots like ChatGPT, and Google is now arguing that competition has revved up in this field since the case was brought back in 2020. If anything, when it comes to AI chatbot usage, ChatGPT is in a dominant position with close to 84% of global market share. Gemini, meanwhile, represents just 2.5%.
Don't know about everyone else. Charles, I'm very pleased you're a real human being to bring us the markets on the programme now.
Let's have a look at Europe. The major bourses here at the Open, we're seeing them trade lower. The FTSE in London down over 0.1% lower. In the UK, annual inflation it's just been announced, has jumped 3.5% in April. That's above analyst expectations. A bad surprise after 2 months where that figure had cooled. UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves saying, "I'm disappointed with these figures because I know cost of living pressures are still weighing down on working people."
I'm going to take you to Japan for this next story. The country's agriculture minister has just handed in his resignation. Unusual reason, though, isn't it?
Well, what might seem like a relatively innocuous gaffe cost Taku Eto his job, the minister admitting that he rarely pays for rice, as is so often given to him as a gift. That comment sparking indignation among the Japanese public, who've seen rice prices nearly double in just a year. Brian Quinn explains.
From an offhand boast to a political scandal, Japan's agriculture minister resigned his post Wednesday after telling a party conference that he rarely pays for rice, as it's always gifted to him by supporters.
I would like to apologize again for making an inappropriate comment as the minister in charge, while the Japanese people are struggling with rice prices.
The remark touched a nerve in a country where its ubiquitous staple grain is becoming increasingly unaffordable. Rice prices hit an all-time high this month, a 5-kilo bag averaging the equivalent of more than 26 euros, nearly double the price of just a year ago. The Japanese are proud of and extremely partial to their own domestically grown rice, but its production is inefficient, driven largely by small farms often run by elderly farmers, a symptom of the country's aging population overall. Poor harvests due to bad weather last year led to shortages and spiraling prices, the supply imbalance exacerbated by a recent influx of foreign tourists drawn by a cheap yen and an appetite for sushi, an appetite they take with them when they leave. Exports have risen 6-fold since 2014, while imports are limited by high tariffs aimed at protecting domestic farmers. Despite the government releasing stockpiled rice from the country's strategic reserve in March, the situation has led to widespread political dissatisfaction. Polling shows 87% of the Japanese public thinks the government is not doing enough to address soaring prices.
Back to you, Stuart.
Yeah, a bit of a gaffe there from the Japanese, what was he? The Japanese Agriculture Minister. Thank you very much, Charles Pellegrin.